Well, one of the big pieces of work that we did when we set ECHO up was to look at those agencies that we were using on a global basis for one of our big campaigns for Regis, to look at the results. And we found that the best results were generated by businesses where the ownership resided within the consultancy. So there was still the creativity and the drive and the energy and the commitment to clients that you don't get from people who are just employees. So there are advantages to an independent network, there are advantages to an owned operation. ECHO is both of those things. It combines the two so that we think that we bring the passion and the energy of owner-operated businesses alongside the disciplines of a very integrated group. Well, we're forecasting continued market turbulence. At the present moment in time, people are not reporting any reduction in fees. What we are seeing is an increase in the proportion of budgets being put into change management programs, supporting businesses with downsizing, so redundancy programs, unfortunately. And we're seeing an awful lot, particularly for those of us with financial services clients, on the crisis relations and crisis management side. There's also a lot of work being done with consumer groups, again, particularly in financial services, to try and stop rumours and panic spreading early. I think another major area where we've seen a lot of work and where we saw a lot of work earlier in the year, but we're seeing that possibly sliding down the agenda is in corporate social responsibility, particularly businesses looking at their environmental credentials and communicating that. Yes, we're starting to see work go into India. Surprisingly, we haven't seen a lot of demand yet for China. Which we had thought with the Olympics would possibly be a growth market. But I think because I think that the Chinese market still remains more talked about than happening. In the context of the other markets, one of the things that we're very proud of this year is that we've expanded our presence extensively across Central and Eastern Europe. We haven't yet, but I think what we will see next year is increased focus on value for money, whatever that means. And I think that we probably will see some of the weaker consultancies across the public relations industry some of them will panic and will start to cut their costs and try to buy business. I know that there was a recent study done, for example, in the UK, which showed that something like 12% of the industry were already buying business. I think that the industry is sufficiently mature and the discipline sufficiently important that the majority will hold the line. What we'll see is a number of weaker players go to the wall. Well, for the forecast for the network, we don't have this year's figures back in, but we're looking overall at an increase of 15% in terms of the billings across the members as an average. So it's been quite a fast growth group of consultancies. We think that's only slightly outstripped industry growth, though. You know, the PR industry has done very well. We're expecting next year to be tougher. Some markets are reporting that they're expecting to exceed the growth in this year, but they do tend to be the more unusual economies. Overall, people's estimates were between 2% and 15%. So we'd settle on a kind of mean of about 7% growth.